What is up, my veggies? My name is VeggieTales Raymond, and welcome back to another movie review. And today we're going to be reviewing Child's Play 2019. Yes, it has been a while. I actually saw this a week ago. Saw it again tonight. Here with my cousin Christian. Say hi.
Wait, what? Oh, someone else was supposed to say it.
Okay, I said reviewing Child's Play. I introduced you. Say hello. Oh my goodness. I think Chucky might have messed your mind up. Okay, so you're probably wondering, why in the world are you wearing a freaking Christmas sweater? Well, first of all, don't tell the viewers. If you guys can guess what all this is from, you guys are awesome. I'm not telling you guys. Don't tell them. Stop trying to want to tell them. Okay, so today we're reviewing Child's Play 2019. Is this your first review? I don't think before when you ever did videos with me, you ever did a review. I don't think. I don't think so.
No, I've watched some videos that you recommended for me, but I never actually done a review with you on one.
I think we've only like done gaming and reactions. I think and movies we made. Yeah. So this is the first review. I would add a clapping sound effect in, but I'm too lazy. So, we're going to discuss the basic things of what I thought about. So, it's obvious a lot of people are like, you can't talk about a remake like this without mentioning the original, correct? Personally, I feel like this movie, okay, I'm going to get one thing out of the corner. He is not a Child's Play fan. Like me. You guys know, for real, like, I'm about to knock a whole bunch of crap on the floor. Oh. You guys know because I own the entire... That's not supposed to be like that. I own the entire collection. All 7 movies. Well, technically, this isn't the entire collection no more. With there being an 8th movie.
Yeah?
Even though it's a remake, it's still a Child's Play movie, so... When that comes out on Blu-ray, I'm going to get it. Alright, this will be here. So, first things first, we're going to get into... Does this movie stand alone compared to the original? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it does.
Now, if you're going into this expecting a carbon copy Child's Play movie, this is not your movie.
No, you were dead mistaken.
If you were expecting this to be anything like the original, there's a few references to the original in there, but if you were expecting this to be really anything like the original... You went to the wrong... If you want to just relive the original, just go watch the first one again. And actually, recently, like a couple days ago, I actually rewatched all the originals, so I was preparing to watch it a second time, so... So, Child's Play 2019 stands good on its own for its own movie. Besides some dumb things... No, they're not really dumb things. I don't know why I'm saying dumb things. I don't know why I talk too much. So, I don't know what to say. So, the fact that, I don't know what to say. Let's talk about the story. That's a good place to start. So, this is a very different Child's Play movie. There's no voodoo involved. There's no Charles Lee Ray. There's none of that crap. It's a very different movie. And the way that this is done with there being a technologically advanced doll that's been tampered with, is literally a lot of stuff is different from this movie. Like there's maybe 1 or 2 things that are the same, and that's probably characters' names.
Characters' names and methods. That's about it. That's the same.
So through a lot of the movie, one thing that's different from this, and I guess you can say from the rest of the Child's Play franchise, is that it doesn't really have that horror comedy element to it that a lot of the Child's Play movies. There's some comedy here and there, but there's nothing really about it that makes you laugh out loud. Gosh, I said LOL. Oh my goodness.
No, to me personally, this had more of a generic original take on it itself to where it could stand alone by itself.
Yeah, because most remakes can't do that. Like, if you go look at the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, that movie's horrible. But it does so much different. Literally, some people say that you could have just not even called this Child's Play and it wouldn't have mattered. And I kind of disagree there because there is enough similarities to where if you didn't call this movie Child's Play, people would have just called it a Child's Play ripoff. Right? Because there's enough individual elements to the movie that you can tell that this has got Chucky elements. You can tell by the way the Buddy doll looks, and don't even get me started on how he got his name. It was probably the dumbest joke in the movie.
Yeah.
So, by the way, this is a spoiler-free review. Well, no, here's what I might do, because I want to talk about some spoilers, but I don't want to be full spoiler. So, I'm going to do what I usually do for movies I want to talk about in full detail. Half this video is going to be non-spoiler, and then the other half is going to be spoiler. That sounds good, right? So, if you want to hear my general thoughts, we'll get to that first, and then afterwards, complete spoilers. So, if you don't want it spoiled, don't stay for that part of the video. So, the characters. Let's get the characters. So, honestly, well, let's look at the elephant in the room. Chucky himself. This is not Brad Dourif's Chucky. That's the guy that played him in the original. Mark Hamill gives a great performance with Chucky in this. I loved it. I don't think there's a better actor you could have put in that role. What do you think?
I like it. Personally, I like his take on it. Because, I mean, many different voice acting parts that he's portrayed, and then to take on this, I mean, I thought he did a fantastic, phenomenal job.
Yeah, because Mark Hamill, he's this... See, when you first think of Mark Hamill doing Chucky, you think, he's just going to do his Joker impression. Or his take on the Joker. Which, honestly, the first time I watched this, I didn't get that. I felt this was his own take on Chucky. But, obviously, you hear Mark Hamill's voice, especially if you watch my second viewing, you hear Mark Hamill's voice in this movie, and you're just like... You can't help but hear especially since I looked at some Joker stuff before we even went to the movie. So I kind of had that thought in my head. So you really can't think of some of other Mark Hamill's other roles that he's done. Hey, I can't lie. I was hoping there was a Star Wars reference in this movie because of Mark Hamill voicing Chucky. So I feel like the reason why that's why that Star Wars reference was thrown in. So I was hoping for that. I don't know why I was hoping for that, but they did. It's the only Star Wars we're going to get on the big screen until freaking the end of the year, until Rise of Skywalker comes out. Wait, has there been any other movie this year that has reference to Star Wars? I don't think so. If I have, I'm dumb and I don't remember. But Chucky itself Chucky is a very different character. He's misunderstood, I guess you could say a little bit, and his morals are in the right place, but his execution is not right. He doesn't understand how the world works.
I mean, that's what I like about it. Instead of it being to where it's a possessed doll, he learns as he goes.
Yeah,
and he thinks he's doing the right thing.
This Chucky is not dumb. This Chucky learns from his mistakes. Okay, so I think we can talk a little bit about Chucky. We'll talk more about Chucky when we get into the spoiler territory. Let's talk about the human characters. Starting with Andy. No one, in my opinion, can replace the Andy from the original. He's just too adorable. But this will be a different take on the character. He's an older kid, much older than he was in the original. Like, I think in the original he was 6 years old. This kid's clearly like 13, 14. And I do like what they did with the character. He's this... Because, like, why would a kid that old want a doll like this? I wouldn't have wanted that one at his age. I'd want it now because it's a Chucky doll, but that's a different story. The reason why I think it's interesting is the reason why he didn't want the doll. He got it as a gift. And it worked with him being friends with the doll because he didn't have friends. But the doll is actually what helped him get friends. So that's a good thing. And Andy, for the most part, he's a pretty good character for a child. He sells his role, I can't lie. Now, obviously, with these horror movies now that have kids in them, as the main lead, this whole kid swearing thing is supposed to be funny, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, me personally, I do believe they could have done without that.
Yeah, well, you've seen it, right?
Yeah.
That it wasn't as bad as it wasn't as much, but I'm not saying as bad as it wasn't as much as it did with it, because that was the thing is there was more kids to focus on it now. The other kids were just there to okay. Another thing I probably Andy and his mom didn't really feel like a mom and son relationship.
No,
it felt like a brother-sister. Now, there were moments where I did feel a mother-son thing. There were some moments. But most of the time, it felt like a son and brother and sister thing. Which does make kind of sense because this is a tad spoiler. And I guess you could probably tell us because how young Aubrey Plaza is. That's the person who plays Andy's mom. She had Andy when she was 16. So it kind of makes sense that he's more like a little brother than... So it's more like a little brother relationship than a... Because... Unlike in the original, his mom wasn't keep on yelling at him when he said something about Chucky and being like, "No one believes you," and blah blah blah. She got annoyed at him, and you can tell this was she felt like a teenager. I don't know why. This is clearly a grown woman, but she felt like a teenager. I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. I wouldn't say it's a bad thing that she feels like a teenager. What? She was a good character. Even though we didn't focus on her as much as I would have liked, I would have probably liked the direct interaction with her and Chucky, kind of like there was in the original. But besides that, it was pretty interesting for what they did with the movie, with her character. Any thoughts on Andy and his mother?
No. I mean, I do believe... Well, no, I'd have to agree with you on the little, for the age. I mean... Because, I mean, for a little bit, that confused me, because at first, when it came out, I thought they were brother and sister. But as the movie progressed, I found out, oh, hey, this is his son. I mean, I do think they probably could have cast someone else to make her look older, at least. Or there's some way to make her look older, more believable.
Well, this girl is clearly, in her late 20s. This woman was clearly in her late 20s, so... And the thing is, when you have to raise a kid from that young of an age, you're still going to have... let's get to the side characters. We got better to get the main characters out of the way. Let's get to the side. Andy's got this group of friends. Which, for the most part, they're just pretty likable characters, even when they're not likable. There's this one other character that's there for, I guess, just plot convenience. I can't really talk about what he does until we get to the spoiler part of the video. His friends are cool. They don't feel like stereotypes. Because usually when you get a fat kid in a movie, he's like, "I like to eat." Am I wrong? Usually when you get a fat kid in a movie, that's usually their character trait. Like, I like food. And that's basically the character trait. But this kid didn't have that, did he?
No. And
yes, from the girl character, I don't remember their names. His girlfriend, not his girlfriend, his friend that is a girl. I did feel like they were trying to go with a independent woman route with that. And I do hate when movies try to force that in, but it didn't feel forced, but it was noticeable. Did you notice that?
Well, what do you mean by the independent?
You know how, a lot of movies nowadays, they try to, because you know how I'm going to give out a spoiler for Endgame because if you haven't seen it by this point.
Oh, you talking about
a
woman role? Or
remember how that one scene at the final battle in Endgame where it just shows all the women?
Oh, I get it.
This is like a girl power moment.
Yeah.
So, because you notice a lot of movies nowadays are trying to do that. And I don't mind it because I never have minded, but unless they really try to force it. Like when in Endgame, that felt forced at that scene. But in this, she didn't really. You could tell they were trying to go. It seemed like they were trying to go for that girl power thing, but didn't really seem like it was being forced. Like You noticed it, but it wasn't a big deal. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah. The detective. He was actually. I guess you could actually say he's a main. No. I don't know if you can say he's a main. He's.
Because he's in there a good bit of it.
He's a good bit of it, but we get more focus on Andy and his mom more. I think you get more focus on him than his mom.
Yeah.
On Mike, on the whatever his name is, the detective than his mom. But he was a good character. He's actually a really likable character. Now, at one point, you want to punch him in the face in the movie. Because it just, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a minute. But the characters are great. I think the characters are pretty well written. Oh, wait. We left out a character. The boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
This is... Okay, where's my other beanie?
Just showed how memorable he was.
I forgot. Okay, this is getting on my nerves how much this beanie keeps going up. Whatever. Oh, my goodness. This guy was a giant stereotype. When you see things in movies with like this character, it's just a giant stereotype. And you... okay, I'm going to give this away because you saw this kill in the trailer. You saw this guy dies in the trailer, so I'm not going to say anything about it. To see that guy die was so satisfying.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
I didn't like him. I did not like him. Sometimes some like annoying like bad guy type characters have like that likable charm. Sometimes this guy didn't have that.
I mean the way he built him, and the more you got revealed about him, yeah. I mean,
you really
he
just
kind of
like
did deserve it.
You're just like sitting there as like, just kill him already. Like and I believe I'm not gonna get into that. I'll talk about that later. Okay, we got the characters out of the way. Let's talk one of the most. We already talked about this. Did we talk about the story?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, we're gonna get into more with spoilers later. One thing that I do want to discuss is obviously with a horror movie, you gotta discuss them kills. And kills were pretty good.
Yeah.
I was expecting some cheat. I expected every kill to be Chucky using some Caslin product to kill someone. That's what I thought that every kill in this movie was going to be, which I'm glad it wasn't. A lot of the kills were pretty creative, I think. Now, this movie doesn't have a high kill count.
No, not as much as the other ones did.
Well, the first one didn't have a high kill count either, but they do get higher kills.
Yeah.
This Chucky didn't rack up a high kill count. Maybe if we get potential sequels in the future, maybe he can give us a higher body count.
But what I did like about him though is the way he initiated them.
The kills?
Yes.
See, yeah, if you're expecting slasher Chucky, you get some of that, but you get a little bit of that.
Yeah, and this one, he actually takes his time with his...
Oh, no, Chucky has had some, in the original have had some, but like... He's had some planned out kills, but like a lot of times Chucky is like the original Chucky, he's like a straightforward, I'm gonna kill you real quick way guy, or just gonna draw out a kill, but not in the way you. Chucky's had some good kills in the original, but there's some really good kills. Like if you're a fan of gore, there are 2 really good kills in this movie that you'd really like, right?
Oh yeah.
There are 2 kills in this movie you'd really like. So we talked about the kills, talked about the characters. I'm going to give my overall rating right now because we're about to switch over to spoiler territory. I'm going to give it I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. Because there was slight little things there that I didn't like, but not that much. What would your rating be?
I mean, I'd have to agree. Plot, backstories were good. Plot was good. I enjoyed it. Surprisingly, for a Chucky movie, I actually enjoyed it.
So out of 5 rating, what do you give it?
I'd have to go with a 4.
Oh, so I got a 4.5. He's got a 4. So still, pretty good movie. There's a lot to enjoy about it. Definitely better than Speed of Chucky.
Yeah.
That's the worst one in the franchise.
That was rough to sit through.
Okay. So now we're going to jump over to spoilers. Let's talk about the boyfriend real quick, because I want to talk about him for a little bit. No, let's talk about Chucky first. Chucky first, because Chucky's the main star. So the way Chucky becomes Chucky is very different in this movie. The fact that the way he was met, I thought he was just like, I thought Chucky was hacked or something, like someone stole him and he was gonna get hacked. And,
oh yeah, that's what I was expecting.
But no, it was just one of the workers who was being abused who just went into the programming and took off all the safety stuff. So like it could say whatever it wanted. Yeah. It could do whatever it wanted.
He basically turned it into a AI.
Basically became a dumbed down Terminator. And now I just want to hear this Chucky say, "I'll be back," or I just want to see that's a line from Terminator, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen a lot of movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, so. But Chucky, what were we talking about before that?
The development of Chucky.
Oh, yeah, because it was really, really neat how they did it, and the fact that a reference that I would have liked, that I would have pointed out, maybe the worker's name was Charles. Could have been a good reference to the original. Could have been, don't know the character's name unless you looked in the credits, but I didn't look through the credits when you left. But, because maybe when it comes out on Blu-ray, I'll look through the credits. But I doubt anyone in this movie was named Charles. It would have been a good Easter egg, but...
Oh, yeah.
But I know they really wanted to differentiate, you know what I'm trying to say. Separate this movie from the other franchise, because this is a completely different Chucky. Now, if you wanted to connect the worlds, you could. I can see how you could do that, but that's dumb. Why would you want to do that? Because this is its own thing. Keep this own thing. Well, the thing is, the people, Don Mancini, the person who created Chucky, hates this.
I mean, in the old ones, I don't remember them good because it's been a while since I watched them. Is he a robot doll or is he just a doll?
No, this doll is possessed by a serial killer. It's a very different type of movie.
Oh, yeah. So it's a whole
like back then,
back
then, toys like that, nothing close to toys like that existed. With a voice box, maybe. Yeah. But a lot of this stuff in this movie, Chucky, I don't care what anyone says. This movie, in my opinion, there were some scenes where I was felt bad for Chucky. I don't care what you say. There was like one or two scenes where I was like, oh my gosh, I actually feel bad for this.
Yeah, because, he was basically like a little kid. He was just learning what he knew.
There was one scene where they were watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And yes, I know that was the second one. I'm a horror freak, so I know this stuff. They were watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and Chucky sees how they're laughing and enjoying it. And all Chucky wants to do is make Andy happy. And so he sees they're laughing and enjoying what they're watching on TV. So like Andy's like, Chucky's like, I can do that. Go get a knife, and at first they're like laughing. I was like, "Oh my goodness, that's funny!" And like, no, then Chucky actually they had to jump on him and he wound up cutting Andy on the arm, and then it cuts to Chucky all upset in the room and being like,
and that's what I thought was interesting because he was learning. He was actually learning.
I was like, wow. The thing is, though, Chucky may have been learning, but he doesn't listen.
Yes.
Because it's just like a little kid.
Like, he knew the mistakes he was making. He just wasn't learning from them.
Yeah, because he was like, all he wanted was, this is my best friend. No one can have him. And he wound up killing a bunch of people who did not deserve it. Well, one guy deserved it. There was this pervert in the movie who got a kill that really fit his personality.
2 deserved it.
Oh, yeah. The pervert deserved it a lot more.
Yeah.
You don't put cameras in people's apartment and spy on them about to take a shower. It's disgusting. Yeah. But a lot of what was, but like Chucky was funny at points too. They had a whole people that were trying to have Chucky to do a certain face. That was a funny scene. And okay, so the movie's not really scary. I couldn't say the movie. Would you say the movie's scary?
No, not scary.
I could say it could be suspenseful. It doesn't lose the fact this is a horror movie.
Yeah.
It still feels like a horror movie. Like, yeah, there's some jokes here and there which are funny, I don't mind having some jokes in your horror movie. I don't mind that at all. And it's just completely terrifying. Like, jump scares got this guy.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised that last one got me.
Now, I'm not going to go into full-on spoilers. I'm not going to just detail every little thing from the movie. Hey, if you're a fan of Gremlins, you're going to love the end of this movie. The last act of this, the last 30 minutes of this movie.
That.
I don't care. I haven't heard anyone else compare that scene to Gremlins, but I had huge Gremlin vibes from that, where Chucky brings like some other Buddy dolls to life, especially when you got to see they're using the bear Buddy dolls, and they were freaking. By the way, I thought, if the actual Buddy doll exists and it was actually just like it was in the movie, not evil and stuff, but like a normal doll, I wouldn't want the bear one. I'd just have the human one. And some guy got upset in the movie because he didn't get the blonde one. I wouldn't want a blonde one either. The blonde one looked ugly.
I did thought that was kind of interesting, the different aspects of the doll they put in it.
Well, the fact that I did like that the dolls, there was a black doll, there was or don't want to offend nobody.
Yeah, they didn't just have one designated one like they did in the original series.
There was a blonde doll, there was a African American doll, there was a bear, and there was the normal one. And the Buddy 2 stuff, at the end, for some reason, only the Buddy 2s were discontinued, but it does make sense, because we actually discussed that when we got out of the movie. It makes sense because it all happened when the Buddy 2s were released. But, like, did you not interview anyone about what happened? Did you not talk to Andy? Be like, oh no, it wasn't the Buddy 2, it was one of the old Buddy dolls.
I mean, come on, the cop.
And don't the new Buddy dolls have the word Buddy 2 on them? Yeah, oh, by the way, another thing I want to point out. I didn't know Mark Hamill could sing. He's not even the best singing voice, but I didn't know he could sing. Did you know he could sing?
No, not really. I knew he was a good voice actor, but I didn't know anything about him singing. Not until now.
Hey, if you guys have any other times that you know of Mark Hamill singing, put it down, like, put me a link in the comments. I want to see that. But okay, I want to talk about the ending of this movie. Now, if you sat through this and you haven't seen the movie, but you're still sitting here, leave now.
Yes, big major spoiler.
Okay, so at the end of the movie, there's a big fight between Chucky and Andy, and they wind up destroying him and everything. But the thing is, there's one little place where Andy looks over at a shelf and sees a Buddy doll sitting there, and he's like, is that Chucky or is that another Buddy doll? And like his mom's like, no, that's not him. And then another Buddy doll jumps on him. And they fight, and they want to take him out. And then later on down the road, in the rest of the movie, this happens. They're loading up the original Buddy dolls. I guess put them back on the shelf. I don't know. And then Buddy's eyes glow red. Now, and then the movie ends. Now, when I first saw this movie, I thought maybe Chucky's consciousness got put into the cloud and was able to be transferred to another doll. But I thought, no, just think Chucky's smarter than that to do that. And I don't think in this world that's possible.
Mm.
That'd be dumb, too, in my opinion. Because then there'd be no way to stop him at all.
I mean, it makes sense if he did that, but
like, it'd be dumb because there'd be no way to stop him at all.
But if you think about the mechanics of the doll and how the doll works, you start to come up with another one.
And because what I believe is that Chucky was controlling another Buddy doll to attack Andy, while the other Buddy doll, while he was just sitting there in the corner, being like, I'm just another Buddy doll over here. I'm going to kill the wrong one. The reason why I say that, because why would they show us at the end of the movie he's still alive? So I don't. What's more believable with this movie? The fact that he just transferred his consciousness to another doll, or he died. He wasn't even the doll that got destroyed. What makes more sense?
I mean, him control because one, he could access the cloud and control things.
Yeah, Bluetooth.
Yeah.
And basically, he can control everything. I did like to see, and who knows, maybe the kill count was higher. We have no idea how many. We weren't paying very close attention. We had no idea how many people died in that store.
I mean, I'd say at the most, from what I saw, I'd say...
I did see one bear buddy doll attacking someone, like...
Yeah, I'd say maybe 4, between 4 and 6. I may be wrong.
We met, but like thing is, we weren't paying attention to background and stuff like that. There could have been a ton of kills we missed. And I hope there were a ton of kills I missed. I'd love this Chucky on his first outing to get a bunch of kills.
I mean, especially with how many dolls were in the store.
Oh, yeah. I guarantee he wasn't... See, all we saw was the bear ones being controlled. We didn't see anything else. We just saw the bear ones being controlled. I guarantee he was controlling other ones, too. Because we know he had been controlling another buddy doll. And I guarantee you when it comes out on Blu-ray, people will be, like, examining each doll, seeing any little differences to tell. I'll do that. I definitely will do that. But the movie, it's good overall. I'd buy this I'd go rent it out of a Redbox, go watch it again. It has more rewatchability than Seed of Chucky. But as you guys know, I have a soft spot for all the Chucky movies, as you guys know. And but definitely out of all the movies, this is one of my favorites. I'd probably say it's my second favorite of the franchise. That's saying a lot when a remake of your franchise is better than most of your movies. This is better than Bride. This is better than...
yeah.
This is better than Seed. This is better than Child's Play 3. This is better than freaking... Even though I do like Cult and Curse, they're better than those as well.
Are you saying this based on plot development or just
the movie in general? This one had more enjoyability. Because, like, yes, it felt more like a horror movie. Like I said, I have no problem with comedy and horror. I have no problem with it. But when it's done to the extent it's done in Seed of Chucky, you just need to... Why does this keep coming up? I guarantee there's just going to be... You can just watch... If you spit at this video, you'll just see this thing go up, down, the whole video. The movie's good.
Oh yes, definitely.
I'd highly recommend it especially if you're a Chucky fan and you're like, oh, you can't reboot Chucky. I'd say give the movie a chance. I'm a hardcore Chucky fan. He's not a Chucky fan and he liked this. I told him when I mentioned the movie was coming out to him last time he was here, he was like,
I was very, very skeptical.
He's like, I don't like Chucky. I couldn't really say anything about it because at that point I haven't seen it yet. But now that I've seen it, it's really good, and I really recommend it, and I recommend it more than some of the other movies in the franchise. And if you're looking for an actual good horror reboot, this is good. It's much better than... So many movies have had horror. The Leprechauns had a horrible remake, but a lot of people will argue the Leprechaun movies are bad anyway, and I'm not getting into that. Leprechaun reboot was bad. Nightmare on Elm Street reboot was bad. Just a bunch. Horror reboots don't really do that well ever. This one has gotten a ton of positive reviews, and I just like it. And you don't? Forget you. I'll go watch this. I'll probably go see this again before it goes out of theaters eventually. I probably will. Because I liked it. I know you did.
Oh, yeah.
I heard him laugh. I heard him scream. It was a lot of fun.
I mean, usually movies like this I really don't like because most of them get predictable and everything, but surprisingly, I enjoyed this. I actually liked it.
See, when you're actually able to... Yeah, there are some predictable stuff here and there. Like, you're like, oh, yeah, you know it's going to... But there was some stuff I wasn't expecting. There was some stuff. And this whole movie is kind of a commentary on how we depend too much on technology. And how it distracts us from a lot of stuff. But there's one kill in the movie that the cheating husband man doesn't even know. His kids don't even notice he fell from the roof, and he's screaming because they have their headphones on and they're on their phones. That just says a lot about our society. I also thought it was just funny. I didn't hear anyone else laugh in the theater when I laughed at that.
I mean, I can see how it was funny, yeah.
I was like...
The only thing that warmed me is why in the world he wrapped the lights around himself.
It was so he could get them all down. I don't really...
Why not just hang them, though? Let him hang them and drape.
I don't know.
Because you're going to be rolling that up as you pick them up.
I don't know. Why is that one of the questions that, after leaving Child's Play, after the cliffhanger,
because the logic in it is so...
You're asking for logic in Child's Play in a movie about a killer doll. You're asking for logic in a movie about a killer doll. A killer doll.
Well, I mean, like in the sense though, you're not. Whenever you take a Christmas list down, you're not gonna go up. Oh, hey, let's wrap this around myself.
One thing I do want to say about this movie is that there's literally 2 scenes in this movie, like I said before, that makes you feel bad for Chucky. And another scene in this movie that makes me feel bad for Chucky is when, right before they kill him. And you can tell, like, for the first time. And you could tell Andy did not want to do that.
Right. I mean, for a second there, I had a slight thought, maybe he could change. And then I was like, no.
And see, if they do a sequel to this, I would be open to it. I'd be open to a sequel. I don't know. I would feel a little, because I kind of don't see why they did do a sequel to it. Why would Chucky not go try to find Andy again? Because he's imprinted onto Andy.
Oh yeah.
That is his best friend. Remember, because the doll imprints onto you. He is imprinted onto Andy. Now he could probably mess with some other kid, try to get him to Andy and everything, and this movie just proved a point that I don't like self-driving cars. I don't like the idea of self-driving cars.
Well, I mean, one thing that came to mind, if they do make a second one,
there's so much they could do with a second film.
Oh yeah, is in one of the old ones, I don't remember which one it is, where Chucky finally got back to him. But he was all grown up by then.
Oh, and he gets shot in the face.
Yeah.
That was Curse.
I don't know if they would go that route though.
I don't think it'd be
him getting back to him.
I think they'd still try to, because like, imagine how if they went and did a time jump like that, technology would have been so much more advanced by that point, and that Buddy doll would seem so obsolete by that point.
Yeah.
So, I think that'd be a dumb idea. Like, I'd say make if they did a sequel, make it take place a week later.
Yeah.
I could see that, or a year, fine. If you want to do a year, but I'd like it to take place a week later. They were like, how come waking, and all of a sudden, what the heck's going on? And see, I don't see why they would. I don't know if they're allowed to continue the franchise. I've heard something about they're not allowed to make more sequels. I don't know how true that is. But if you haven't seen the movie, I'd recommend it. You recommend it?
Oh yes, definitely.
So if you guys need a good scare before some of these other horror movies that look pretty good come out, go check it out. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.